Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today is the start of my inventory series. So what I'm hoping to do with this is, this particular video is going to be base products, so primers, foundations, concealers, face powders, that kind of thing. Next video hopefully will be coloured face products, so like cream bronzer, cream blush, powder blush, etc. Eyeshadow palettes obviously will have a section all to their own some, and I'll have maybe like a sundry kind of thing where eyeliners and lip products they've increased a lot. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. And then at the very end of it all, I'll do just an overall inventory, you know, my numbers essentially, comparing mid-year, last year, etc., and what my goals for the new year are. Yeah, that's hopefully the plan anyway. Fingers crossed. So let's get cracking with primers. So I've kind of two categories of primers. I've pore filling and I've glowy. They're my two favourite. So we have the e.l.f. Sea Bright Putty Primer, and this is what it looks like. I haven't used it a whole lot because I have a few primers and I was trying to rotate through them this year. This is the other putty primer that I have. It's the original poreless putty, and I don't know, yeah, you can see I have a lot more use on that one. How I like to use these kind of pore filling primers is with like a dense brush like this, and just press it where I need it. So in these areas, I don't go just getting a load out and rubbing it all over my face. Just not how it works for me. But when I just press it into those pores, I really like how they work. Fantastic primer, the Power Grip primer from e.l.f. I've an awful lot of e.l.f. primers. I love this, and I'm so shocked. I didn't anticipate loving it as much as I do. It really just locks my foundation into place, and I just put a little bit onto my fingers and again press it in the main areas that I need it, and then lightly press what's left into the kind of other areas of the face. And then the last kind of putty or pore primer is the e.l.f. liquid poreless putty primer. Don't love this as much as the original, but I keep it and I'll use it. It's fine, but I wouldn't go purchasing it again, which is, this one has been repurchased, and I've no doubt this one will be repurchased when it's finished. And then with regards to the glowy primers, I have four. I have the Sculpted by Amy Beauty Base in a Pearl. You coming in? He's outside the door because he's too precious to push it open with his little nose. Scampy, you coming in? Come on. My sister decluttered this to me. I actually quite like it. It's just a clear, or white I suppose, but like it doesn't give you any hint of colour or anything like that, but it does give a lovely glow to the skin. I like mixing this in with foundations. That's really how I use all of these. PS Flawless Glow Radiant Glow Primer Foundation Hybrid Embodiment. This is from Primark. I actually have two of these, two different shades. And again, these are just, actually I can wear these on their own, and look, they don't give coverage, but they give a little bit of something to the skin if you don't want to be going in with a full face of makeup. So one is kind of for summertime and one is for winter, and I love these, and I would definitely repurchase these. Having said that, of these type of glowy primers, the e.l.f. one is my favorite, but I've given it to my mother because she wanted something like that and I thought it would suit her. So I'm not going to repurchase it until some of these are gone. This is the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Liquid Glow Booster. And again, it's along the lines of all these other ones, but I just don't like it as much as either the e.l.f. or the Primark ones. It's a bit more liquidy, a bit runnier, doesn't give much coverage at all. I mean, any coverage at all is what I mean. It's more akin to this, I feel. But I'll use it up. I wouldn't be inclined to repurchase it. Look at it against the light there. A bit of use in it. You coming in, buddy? Come on. Scampy, come on. Excuse me while I play butler to my dog. Good boy. My God. Look at this. Look. Butter wouldn't melt. Hello. He's like, it's outrageous. I had to wait for more than 3 seconds. Anyhow, there are my Primers. So there, I'm not too worried about my primer category, but everything is going on a, we'll discuss it in the overall video, but everything's going to serious no way. But those are my primers that I have in my collection at the moment. Foundations. So actually no, let me go into concealer and stuff next. So I only have one concealer left in my collection. This is the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer, and I just have come to the conclusion. What shade is this in? Warm Macadamia. I do not use concealer, so why do I continue to purchase it? But this is the last one in my collection, so we're down to one, and once that one is gone, I would imagine, unless I buy one as a kind of a, what's the word I'm trying to use, foundation mixer kind of, you know, to either warm foundations up or cool them down. I might instead of buying a big thing, because I do have, let's go into foundation correctors. You know what I'm trying to say. This is a white one and this is a blue one. Can't think of the words. Foundation mixer, is that the word I'm looking for? I don't think it is. Anywho, this is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. It's in white, so it's supposed to be used. I have it about a third of the way gone, and I have it a long time. I don't know how long more it's going to last. It's a bit excessive for what I need. Whereas I loved this from e.l.f. This is the Camo Color Corrector in blue, so it cools down very warm or yellow foundations, and I thought that's a lovely size. Isn't that a perfect size for something like that? So if they had that in white, I'd much prefer it, or I'll just get a very, very light concealer, maybe, we'll see. But I only have two color correctors, foundation adjusters, that's the word I was looking for, in my collection at the moment, and they're perfect. I'm happy with them. So actually why I'm stuck on the word corrector is because next is my eye correctors, under eye correctors, and I have four. I have the Becca under eye corrector. Does it say what shade? Doesn't. There's a little mini that Valerie from VMRT on Instagram gave me. I have a little pan in it and I just love it. This is the kind of brush that I love to use for these kind of products. So it's a little bit slanted. It's a small little kind of concealer brush, and it just goes on lovely under the eyes. I just much prefer a colour corrector nowadays. I just find my crinkly all under eyes are enjoying it more. Next up is the Revolution Eye Bright Corrector in light to medium. This is actually a repurchase. Not that I finished the first one, but I actually gave it to my sister because she was looking for something like this, and I liked it so much I repurchased it. I find it's a tad more hydrating maybe than the Becca one, but just a great colour on me. Does a lovely job under the eyes. Really enjoy it. This is a newer one. This is the Catrice Under Eye Brightener in Instant Awake. I haven't really used this as much as the others, but the ones that I did use it, I seemed to like it. Bit of a drier formula, so more like the Becca. There it is there. I know you're saying, sure, Ruth, surely you only need one. And you're right, I do only need one. But I was looking for something to replace the Becca one, so the hunt continued. This is the e.l.f. Colour Corrector Eye Brightener. And why I didn't stop after buying the Revolution one, well, if you're watching this, you're probably like me and have a collection like me and understand that, I mean, they're all the feckin' same. You just can't stop buying. But it has to stop, guys. It has to stop. But yeah, that's the e.l.f. one. So I have four of those in my collection at the moment, and I quite enjoy them all. I would say this is what I have on at the moment. Really love it. This is the original, and this is a lovely hydration. This one I'm not sure about yet, but I have four of those in my collection at present. Just 1 second. Yes, it is a different day completely. I got interrupted the last time because Mum wanted to go and do some shopping. So off we popped, and I said, right, sit down and finish this video. So I hope you don't mind that we're looking a little bit different. Red lip still on. Hair is a mess because I am going to get it done today. So I said I don't put... A tip that I got from a hairdresser once was don't put any conditioner, as in leave-in conditioner, in your hair before you go to get colour put in, especially highlights, because they can slip, apparently. I don't know. That's what I do now, so that's why my hair is a bit of a state. So anyway, we did those categories. Now we're going on to foundations. Now I am missing 2 at the moment because I have given a loan of them to my mother-in-law. They're kind of BB kind of creams, because she wants to start wearing a bit of makeup, and I said it'd be a nice place for her to start. But the ones I have in my collection at the moment, I have my Perfect Colour. This is from Primark again, Illuminating Foundation. I actually quite like this. I have loads of it left, but I still nearly bought a replacement because they are discontinuing it. It was down to €4 in my local Primark or Pennies, and I was kind of like, oh shit, do I buy a backup? No! You don't buy a backup, Ruth. You've barely dipped into this and you've a shit ton of other ones. Excuse the aggression. I have to be aggressive with myself. I have to. Next up, but yeah, sorry, this is kind of like, it says illuminating foundation. I don't know that it's that illuminating. I still put an illuminating primer with it. And I would say it is on the full covered side of things. Well, medium to full, I would say. It's a bit of a thicker, it's a creamier kind of formula. But I quite like it. I think it's a nice foundation, and for €7, come on, like. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I have mine in porcelain. I'm not as big a fan of this one, I have to be honest. And now that Flower is gone out of Ireland, which is a bit disappointing, but there you go. It's gone out of Europe altogether, I think. It's definitely a thinner formula to that last one, but it would lean again probably medium to full coverage and a bit thicker on my skin. So I kind of thin it out a bit with some moisturizer. But it's going in a project pan next year at some stage. Hopefully, all going to plan. Next up is one of my favourites actually, and it's taken me a while to realise that this is a favourite. This is the one I'm reaching into. If I'm going anywhere and I want to look nice, this is the one I'm reaching into my drawer for. This is the Fenty Beauty Easy Drop. Or Eavesdrop, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, in the shade 7. And it's a light formula. It's kind of verging on a BB cream, I feel. It's a much thinner formula, and I just think it's lovely. I think it evens out the skin tone. I have it on today, and anytime I'm wearing it, not everyone, some people will say, oh God, your skin is looking lovely. Ultimate compliment when you're wearing makeup, I feel. Next up is the Note Luminous Moisturizing Foundation. So I bought this because I needed something a bit darker for deepening some foundations, and I liked that it was glowy and it was on sale. I have 106 Soft Henna, I think. I've given in, guys. When I was out and about yesterday, I got my eyes tested. So glasses are on the way. It's not that it's very bad. It's still fairly okay. My eyesight, 20/20 vision far away, but close up, just getting a little bit fuzzy. So yeah, getting glasses. What do I think of this one? Like I said, it's a great mixer. It's great for thinning out foundations. It's great for deepening some lighter foundations, and it does give a nice glow. I enjoy it, but it's too dark for me on its own, even in the height of summer. Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation, in a shade that I probably can't read until my glasses come. Cashew. This is it here. This was decluttered to me, and look, I wouldn't be spending my money on it, let's put it that way. It's fine. It does the job, but it's not a favourite. Again, a kind of a consistency wise, it's a thinner formula than, we'll say, the first one I put on. It's not a thick creamy formula, and it does give good coverage, but I don't know, it just, when it's on my skin, I don't think, oh God, that looks lovely on. And that's what you're looking for, really. CYO Long Lasting Foundation. Can't see the shade anymore, can I? 103. It's the last of it. This is going on my project pan as well next year. I run out of space. Little bit of a kind of a cooler tone to that one, which I like, especially for the winter time. And I've liked this. Again, I know it was cult favourite for some people. I liked it fine. I wasn't in raptures over it, but I liked it fine. The Lacura Cashmere Glow Luminous Foundation. This is meant to be a dupe of, I believe, Armani, however you want to say it. Stop saying the word with Armani. Glow Foundation or whatever it is. And I actually quite like it. I was surprised. Not that I should be surprised that, you know, there it is there. A bit warmer. Look at all the different Does Ruth know her own colour? No, she does not. At the grand old age of 44, she still hasn't a fucking clue. But I like the consistency of this. It's a not quite. It's creamy, but up into being too thick. And it sits on the skin quite nice, and you can build it up or kind of shear it out. I quite like it, and I mean it's Aldi, like, or no, was that little? Why do I always get it wrong? No, it was Aldi, so it was not expensive. A new one to my collection is the Kind and Free from Rimmel, the Moisturising Skin Tint Foundation in 10 Rose Ivory. My niece put me onto this one. She said she really likes it, so I said I'd give it a go, since I'm usually the one doing the influence. And I said, look, I'll be, because I'm so hard to influence, aren't I? Can you even see it? There it is there. I haven't used it a whole lot, so I can't say categorically, but the couple of times I used it, it was fine. Not throwing my hands in the air going, oh my god, I found it, the perfect foundation. That still hasn't happened. Or has it? I do like the Fenty. And a repurchase. This is the number 7 Hydroluminous Moisturising Foundation. All day hydration, medium coverage in cool vanilla. And I finished up one of these earlier this year, I want to say. Don't know for sure, actually. Now, it says, I suppose it doesn't say tinted moisturiser, it says moisturising foundation, which, to be fair, is a more accurate description because it's not a tinted moisturiser. But there it is there. And again, in the summer months, this is my summer foundation because it's quite light on the skin, I find. And once you powder it down, it does kind of stay on. And it has a little bit of extra SPF in it, which we know it doesn't do a whole lot, but it sure isn't better than not having it. I would always put on my factor 50 underneath, because it does not, you cannot put on enough foundation to provide protection. You just can't, unless you want to be like cake face, and I mean like spatula cake face. So those are my foundations. So lastly, and I'm sure you're going, sweet Jesus, Ruth, are you not done yet? No, I'm not. Oh, with regards to foundation, I have one last foundation I've got. I love this brush for foundation. It's kind of, can you see it's on a slant a little bit, and it's quite small, and I find that a smaller brush, I used to have really big brushes and really go, but I find the smaller brush doesn't even take as longer, if you know what I mean. Do you know, I thought, oh god, it's going to take me ages, but it's just more detailed and get into nooks and crannies around the nose, and it's just more targeted, and I feel it works better for me. And then I always like a sponge as well. I usually go over everything with a sponge, you know, just to tap out edges and make sure everything is blended nicely. The last foundation, because I told a lie, I forgot that this isn't a powder. Well, it is a powder, but it's not a powder. It's the Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder Foundation in Fair Ivory 02. I finally picked up one of these because I find that lately I'm wanting to do my makeup faster. I just don't have the time I used to. It's quick out the door. And I thought, well, let's try a powder foundation and see how we get on. And I quite like this. Do you know, is there any point trying to swatch a few? Because it does make a mess, won't it? Can you even see it? Just about. I quite like this. I use this kind of brush, a really dense powder brush. And usually I'll just pop it into the lid and swirl my brush around inside there. And tap the excess off, go in, go back in and take up the excess, and off I pop. Happy days. It's look at, I wouldn't, if I was going a night out, it wouldn't be my choice, or if I was going to a party or doing something that, you know, I wanted to look nice for. But just for going out doing the shopping, or, you know, out and about, potting about, it's fine. It does the trick. I'm glad I bought it, and it'll probably last me ages, I would imagine. But yeah. I was curious. I've always been curious, and I've never got it. And then I was in a store that sold it, and I thought, come on, Matt, let's go for it. Right, powders. First up, Becca Hydro Mist Set and Refresh Powder. So these are my loose powders. I only have 3, but 2 in just a regular setting powder category, if that makes sense. You'll see in a minute. So this is the Becca Hydro Mist. It is going into a project pan this year because I've been keeping it for special occasion, which is never going to happen, because then once I open it, it'll have to be used because the Hydro Mist will be gone out of it. So it just needs to be used, madam. Also in the powder category, I have the Beauty Bakery Flour Better Not Bitter powder. This I use in the summertime when I need a bit extra oomph, you know, when I'm sweating and stuff. Oh, yes, I have a scarf on. I never even addressed it. It's -2 today. So happy. so happy. Yes, sorry. Yeah, for hotter weather, when I'm sweating, this is a good powder. I wouldn't repurchase it. It's fine. It's not my be all and end all. A glowy powder then that I have for setting is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder, and I do love this. This is just gorgeous, I have to say. I really come to love and appreciate finishing powders. I just find when I've everything done and I just pick up this or one of the other ones that I'll show you in a minute, it just brings the whole look together and gives me a lovely healthy glow, and just, I love it. So that is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Now, with regards to regular, oh, she's weeping. It's because she's just so happy that it's cold out. Okay, so we have the Kiko Radiant Fusion Powder in 01. This is the packaging, and this is what it looks like. Come back a bit. It's a nice enough powder. Don't like it under my eyes. I find that it settles in really badly into my under eyes. But for the rest of the face, it's perfect. I can't complain. It's more than acceptable. But what I do love for under my eyes, and which I bought in the Black Friday sale, I did it, guys. I did it. Because if you've been watching my channel all this year, you know I've been raving about them in the... I had one in the ambient... one of the palettes. I had a silver palette, the ghost palette, I think it was. And I have the sculpture, I don't know, the gold one. And I've used up a full one already in the ghost one, and I've leveled out the other one. I just, for under my eyes, even though they're weeping now, I just think it is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful on the rest of the face as well, but I can use something like this instead. I don't want to just lash this on the face for the sake of lashing it on the face. It's just beautiful under my eyes, but it is extremely expensive. I have the shade, did I say even what it is? It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. But yeah, it's not a regret purchase at all. Thoroughly enjoying it. Very happy with it. Going from luxury to literally the opposite end of the scale, we have Catrice All Matte Plus Shine Control Powder in 10 Transparent. Again, it is grand, you know, for all over the face, it's fine. Again, I wouldn't use it under my eyes. It just doesn't do it for me. Another one that was decluttered to me is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Foundation, is it? Hybrid Powder Foundation, yeah. So it's in the shade 03. This is what it looks like. And this actually, I was quite surprised how much I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. But it's great if you are using a foundation that doesn't have much coverage and maybe you feel like you need a little bit more. It does give the coverage without looking awful cakey. Now, it can get heavy looking. You have to be careful. Like, I would use a kind of nearly something like this, a bit fluffier, not too dense on areas that I don't want it to look too cakey. On areas that I want the coverage, I'll go in with my powder puff. Love this. Do you know what I love using these for? Not losing them, using them. When I'm finished on my cream products, especially my under eye, I will actually go in with this on my under eye and just tap, 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 and it lines out, and then straight into my Hourglass powder with the pointy end in, and just really press it in around. And it just, I don't know, it just seems to work beautifully for me. I'm really happy with it. But I also use it with pressed powders for on the face. But yeah, so I'm enjoying that. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would. And then we're down to the last two, guys. You all right? You okay there? You still hanging on? You're gone? Anyone still out there? Wouldn't blame me. Finishing powder. So you saw my e.l.f. Halo Glow. I also have, this is ancient, the Wet n Wild Colour Icon Bronzer in Reserva Cabana. This is the second one of these that I've had in my lifetime. Massive pan in it. I have to be careful because my finger's going to break soon. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't even exist anymore. But it's a gorgeous finishing powder. Not so much under the eyes, but for the whole face. Lovely. And the other one I have is from Revolution. It's the Revolution Pro Skin Finish in Luminescence. This is it here. And again, just does the same thing, gives a gorgeous, gorgeous glow. I have another shade of this in Opalescence. It's a kind of a goldy tone, but I find it's a bit too shiny as a finishing powder. I prefer it as a subtle highlighter, which is what I've moved it into that category now. But yeah, I am a huge fan of finishing powders. Didn't think I would be, but I am. I just think they give a lovely finish. Is it necessary? Probably not. Do I enjoy it? Immensely. So that is it for this category. We have done all the kind of base face products. Next video, I think I will do my cream and powder, blush, bronzers and highlighters. That should be the next one. But yeah, that's it for this very long video. I hope you enjoyed it and you didn't kind of go, Ruth, where are you off to with all, look at the time, I've stuff for doing. But hopefully I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care, bye, slán.